Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. First and foremost, I'd like to start this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this 100% truth. Salutations unto the 144,000. Doing the work of the Lord in all truth, honor, and sincerity, and shalom to the 1/3, men, women, and children who believe in this word being taught unto them. It's your brother Amna wa Allah. I'm back at you with another video entitled, Then Shall They Know That a Prophet have been among them, man. Because we've been warning you, beginning with our elder apostles, of these very same things that we're seeing happening in the world today. So I've got this article here. All right, and a lot's been coming out with this whole Palantir company, which when you search up what is Palantir, right? It says Palantir Technologies is an American software company that specializes in big data analytics and integration. They are known for building platforms that help organizations, particularly in government and the private sector, make sense of large, complex data sets and improve decision making. Palantir software is used for a wide range of applications, from national security and defense to finance and healthcare. So that covers quite a few different, directorates, for lack of a better word. National security, defense, finance, and healthcare. That's that covers a lot. Okay. But they don't really tell you too much about what they do with the data. It just says that they kind of, make a big make sense of large, complex data sets. Okay, but what these devils want to do is that they want to be able to see like every single transaction taking place in real time. They want to be able to see that your thoughts, your health, everything, the amount you have in your account, your money, so many different things, man. All right, they want to be able to just basically access that at a drop of a hat. Basically that's that God complex of Esau. All right, so when we actually go through this article, we'll make more sense what exactly Palantir do and how important they are in terms of biblical prophecy. It says Palantir's AI surveillance platform makes China's social credit score system look innocent by comparison, and for it to make China's look innocent, that's bad, man. Because China's one is pretty much, that's draconian right there. So if you're now telling me America's got its own kind of system that they've got in development that makes China's one looks like innocent. Hey, then the Americans are in for some problems, man. Really, the whole world, because we know this system is going to try and be brought worldwide, okay, under this new world order, one world government. It says, according to the former company insider, who is now warning that the United States is quietly handing over unprecedented control of its citizens' data to a private defense contractor with links to Bilderberg and the World Economic Forum. So basically, they're sending it up top. All right, this is what the wicked elite want, but they have to word it in a way where it doesn't draw too much suspicion, But come on, man. We know exactly who's gonna have access to that information and excuse me, rummage through it. It says this is not communist China. It's the United States of America, the so-called land of the free. Yeah, right. And our citizens are being contracted out to a private entity. Well, you've always really been under a private entity, you know. What do you think the birth certificate's all about? All right, pretty much that goes to show that we pretty much all belong to the wicked elite. Okay, so now it's just a fact that it's becoming more blatant, because usually they'd operate behind the scenes in the shadows, which they still kind of are, but you know, as time goes on, as it says, in the scriptures, Jeremiah 49, for I have made Esau bare and I have uncovered his secret parts. So we're in a time where Esau can no longer hide himself because he's being revealed. Also, as it reads in the Second Thessalonians chapter 2, and then shall that wicked be revealed. And you know what? Let's actually quickly get that scripture because it doesn't only talk about the wicked being revealed, it talks about the manner in which the wicked are being revealed, which highlights the importance of the prophets, man. This is Second Thessalonians 2, and I'll start straight to the point. At verse 8, it says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay, so who is the wicked being revealed? Esau. And who's the Lord using to consume with the spirit of his mouth? His prophets. Luke 1 and 70 backs that. Hosea 12 and 10. Okay. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. That's Revelation 1 and 7. When Yahweh Shai returns with the holy angels, man. In those spaceships. As Elder Apostle Gabar has been saying recently, man. All right. Yahweh Shai coming with them spaceships, man. And he gonna be on the largest one. So that's the part that should terrify all of us, said Juan Sebastian Pinto. And hey, man, you got a Northern Kingdom name, man. Lucky his ass ain't getting shipped out yet. These devils are so wicked. I'm hearing that they rounding up these Northern Kingdom, the tribes, putting them on cargo planes and just dumping them in the sea. Esau wicked as hell, man. But anyways, it says Pinto, who worked on the very platforms now being deployed to surveil and control American citizens, said he left the company after realizing the full scope of its ambitions. And this is the thing, is that, a lot of people work in Esau's organizations and they just have a little puny role that they play. They don't really understand too tough what the company's about and its agendas, its plans. They're just doing their role, what they need to do. And then some people get insight to what it's really all about, man. And they're like, nah, man, the human element of them, wakes up and they're like, nah, this shit is wrong. But you see these devils, man, these wicked elite, man, they ain't, they are wicked, man. That's why they can cause mischief on the earth, you know. They can have loads of people killed just to eliminate one person, and they can still sleep good at night. These are the people that are in power right now, man. Okay, that's why, real quick, I want to get on with this article, but just real quick. This is Proverbs 21, 29 and 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So whenever the wicked are in power, the people ain't rejoicing. Go have a process of elimination right now. Are the people rejoicing right now? Are the people mourning? Last time that I checked, everyone complaining about, cost of living. There's also great confusion out here. People don't know what the hell is going on. There's questions that are unanswered. What's going on in the world? What's going on within government? What's going on with life? What's going on with the money? What's going on with the economy? What's going on with people's sanities? All right, we got all the answers to that, man. Okay, but that's prophecy as well. So it tells you how great confusion is going to grow in the world in 2nd Ezra 16. Okay. So yeah, this Pinto guy, when he was privy to the ambitions of the company, he was like, nah, man, I'm not with that, man. You know, among the tools he helped promote were AI-driven quote kill chains, systems designed to automatically identify and eliminate targets using massive amounts of real-time data. Those same tools, he warns, are now being integrated into domestic agencies like the Department of Homeland Security, the CDC, and the IRS to create a system designed to achieve globalist ambition of an American social credit score system. See? And they want to distract you with this Diddy stuff, but really in the background, while Diddy's pretty much walking off into the sunset, they're setting up digital slavery, man, and to enslave the whole world. You see? That's why, man. Look, man, we all know what goes on in Hollywood, man. I didn't really pay too much attention to that Diddy stuff, because that they all do that, man. It's not like their hands are all clean and Diddy just was the only one. Like they all do that shit, man. That's the price you got to pay when when you're walking through certain doors, man. You got to do certain things, certain acts. So it says, I think this Pinto guy is still saying, he's saying, I simply cannot live in a world where my grandchildren have to be processed through a database where their everyday activities, including social media posts as citizens, are tracked, collected, and used for authoritarian governments' policing database, Pinto told NPR. And to be fair, that shit kind of happens now. You got certain people that go to job interviews, right? The CV checks out cool, the interview's smooth, but then the one of the panel members, says, you know what? Let me quickly go on this guy's Facebook or Instagram, wherever the case may be, and then they see all kind of madness, and just off that, they may not get the job, man. Or boy, us brothers in this truth, man. You know what I'm saying? They just catch wind of a YouTube video. They see you out there, the garment man, talking about Psalms 149. Man, you might get called into them rooms, man. Meetings getting set up, but hey, man, man's going of the Lord, man. You know, but yeah, I'm saying to an extent they already kind of do that, man. So now with this whole Palantir system put in place, that's going to be pretty much at a touch of a finger, man. You see, Esau trying to make himself into a god. Okay, I think if we go back to Second Thessalonians 2, I think it goes into that. Yeah. So this is Second Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first." That's talking about 70 AD. "And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition," all right, which we know, of course, is Esau, Edom, so-called white man. Verse 4, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, all that is worshipped." Did you see? Listen, man, take in verse 4, man. Who? So this is what Esau does, right? Who opposeth, and we have to get an NLT on this as well. It says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, all that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." And that this whole system that he's setting up, that's a God complex right there, man. That's a very proud thing to do, just like the Tower of Babel. Okay, so let's read it in the NLT. It says, "He will exalt himself and defy everything that people call God and every object of worship." You don't care about this Hebrew Israelite thing, Islam, Christianity. No, he's God. He's the authority in his head. Okay, or is where was I? Every object of worship. He will even sit in the temple of God, claiming that he himself is God. All right, that's Esau for you, man. That's this proud ass devil for you, which is why his ambition is to get a system like China ongoing, but even better, and then to put a C hit in everyone, so that he can fulfill that God complex that he so earnestly desires. All right. As a former employee, I'm not even sure about my personal safety in regards to speaking out. Yeah, you know how that goes. Next thing you know, he's missing. Next thing you know, he just overdosed in the hotel. You know, found dead in his flat or whatever the case may be. You know how the devils do it, man. Get on the plane, it might crash. Or they just outright just shoot him and just get sloppy with it, man. They be doing that. They be doing that bit as well. All right. He says, as a former employee, okay, but that we are entering the realm of what some have called a digital concentration camp. So you're gonna have the physical concentration camp, and then you got the digital one. Far deadlier than the three members of the Axis of Evil United Nations Agenda 2130 with their smart growth, 15-minute cities, and wildlands project, more lethal than the World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum. So Esau, he cooking up something for the people, them, all right. And here's the thing: beginning with our elder apostles, man, we told you, we done told you, people, man. Okay, you didn't want to listen. How long will you simple ones love simplicity, and you fools hate knowledge? Proverbs 1 and 22. All right, Palantir's Broad Foundry software connects and analyzes data from nearly every federal agency. This includes health records, financial filings, law enforcement databases, intelligence reports, or even social media behavior. The shift to this centralized surveillance model was formed through Executive Order 14243, 14243, signed by Trump in March 25, requiring all government departures to share their international databases in a single unified platform, one powered by Palantir. So it's just, amalgamating everything together, centralizing the system. So, companies will not have to, different sectors won't have to cross check with other sectors and whatnot, because it's all just going to be centralized. All right. It says the order was framed as an effort to eliminate inefficiency and fraud in government. But critics say it has created a privatized digital panopticon with no public oversight or accountability. A kill switch for US sovereignty. Palantir's co-founder and CEO, Alex Karp, look at this devil, man. He look like he's been electrocuted. These are your so-called leaders of the world. would you trust them in your house? Look at this devil, man. He's responsible for how you experience life going forward. This Palantir co-founder CEO Alex Karp is also a member of the Bilderberg Steering Committee and the World Economic Forum in Davos. He has not been shy about the company's power. Yeah, because these devils are proud, man. Let's quickly hold Obadiah. These prophecies are coming to pass steady, man. All right, but just as how it's prophesied how E is gonna go about himself this way, it also prophesies, scriptures also talk about his downfall, okay, and our uprising. So let's start at verse 3. It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? So Esau, see, he's fully about this God complex. His head is, who's going to bring me down? I done been in power for 500 somewhat years. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Ain't no one going to be able to bring me down. But the Most High going to bring you down. Okay? Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. All right, so to the Heavenly Father is going to be the one to bring Esau down. That's why it says in Zephaniah 3:8, to therefore wait ye upon me until the day that I rise up to the prey. All right, we're not meant to take matters into our own hands. Okay, we just do what we're meant to do. We teach this word, man. All right, our time will come when we get our hands on these filthy devils, man. It says Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare our enemies and on occasion kill them. So I wonder how they're going to do that. Well, I mean, if everyone plugged in with the MOTB, they can have it to where they can send a certain shock wave to that device that just wipes you out, man. It's crazy. This term kill chain traditionally refers to the military process of identifying, tracking, and eliminating targets. With AI, this process becomes nearly instantaneous and increasingly opaque. Palantir's technology can now analyze behavioral patterns, predict actions, and automate targeting decisions. What was once limited to war zones is now embedded in domestic systems. So this man really thinks he's God, man. This is the digital monster Orwell warned us about. Pinto said, Big Brother is not a government, it's private. It's a private company with access to everything. The US Army relationship with tech firms is also evolving in unsettling ways. Yeah, you got all kind of tech guys getting into high-ranking military positions. because really what they're setting up is a technocracy. All right, let's look that up. Yeah, here we go. Technocracy, the government or control of society or industry by an elite of technical experts. And this is what they're transforming the world to now, man. This technocratic society. That's why they're swapping out these military, high-ranking military officials for these tech guys now. That's pretty much a slap in the face, man. But Esau gonna do what Esau gonna do, man. In a largely unnoticed move, four Silicon Valley executives were recently commissioned as lieutenant colonels without prior military experience. You see, I can't lie, I skipped over this bit when I was reading through this article, but I didn't know I was going to say that. Okay. Among them, Palantir CTO Shyam Sankar, probably Elon, Meta CTO Andrew Bosworth, and two former OpenAI executives. The move reflects what some describe as a full merger of military and corporate AI power, technocracy. These tech leaders now have direct access to sensitive military planning while maintaining leadership positions in firms that profit from those very relationships. No oversights, no audits, no exit. Palantir's rapid expansion has drawn comparisons to the Total Information Awareness Program scrapped in 2003 over public backlash. But unlike that failed DARPA initiative, Palantir operates under layers of privatized secrecy. There are no transparency requirements for how federal agencies use its tools, no civilian audits, and no meaningful way for citizens to know what data is being used or how. Palantir currently earns over $3 billion annually from government and corporate clients. Its systems have reportedly helped rescue trafficking victims, disrupt cartel networks, and streamline bureaucratic inefficiency. So yeah, this is what it does here. Yeah, yeah. Now we can just use it to control the whole world. Yeah. It is also used by the Israeli Defense Forces to target enemies in Gaza and ICE to track migrant movements in real time. Look at that, man. Everything is tracked. But as Pinto warned, good intentions today don't guarantee ethical use tomorrow. And that's what it's like dealing with this devil. Okay. That's why it says, let me just go and get it. Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So eventually his wickedness is always going to come to the surface. All right. So, you always got to be aware of Esau Edom. You pretty much, hey man, you got to keep E at arm's length. Okay. This man, this nigga man, you might just never trust him. Verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. All right, so he's you're gonna realize he's still that same old devil, man. So you gotta mind how you step around him. Okay. says our world is fundamentally changing, he said, is morphing into a monstrous system of surveillance, manipulation, and mental enslavement. We've already lost control over AI. The transformation is here, and it's something far more sinister, which we know, again, through biblical prophecy. That's why the scriptures say, "Blessed is he that readeth," man. Not just anyone that reads too. You gotta, you gotta read with understanding. Okay. It says Palantir doesn't need to overthrow governments. It seeks to run them from the inside. As the invisible architect behind federal operations, it shapes decisions, influences policies, and sets the conditions. 1 second. For action, all without public knowledge or consent. Right? Just bear with me a minute. It's a luck. You just had to sort out a couple of things. Hold on. Where was we? So I believe I read that one. Okay. Once touted as a guardian of national security, Palantir has quietly become the operating system of the state. And if Pinto's warnings are correct, it is building a world in which freedom becomes conditional, privacy is obsolete, and dissent can be flagged and eliminated by an algorithm. Palantir's AI kill chains may have been built for battlefields, but now all of America is wired into the system. The question is no longer if this technology will be used against citizens, but when. All right. So there you have it, man. So this means that this technology will definitely be used against the citizens, man. All right. But as it says, when. Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." All right. So this thing is surely gonna come. Doesn't matter how long it's gonna take to get there. We the scriptures say, what's that in Peter's? That we have a more sure word of prophecy. All right. So we know that whatever's written within these scriptures will, most definitely come to pass. That's why as the title of this video, Ezekiel 33 and 33, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. Okay, so it's going to be made very clear that the same people the world disregarded, scoffed at, laughed at, are the ones that had it figured out all along. And you always see that in these end time movies, or just in the movie plots in general, man. It's always the lowly, the underdog that eventually ends up being on top. And this is the Heavenly Father's movie, and this is how he's written the script for his elect. So we just following the script of life, man, which the script is contained within the understanding of these scriptures. Okay, we're all going to be tried, that's for sure, man. Revelation 2 and 10 says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life." So that 10 days is just a period of time. We're going to be tried. We're going to be locked up. Some of us may have to be martyrs, okay? Getting our heads chopped off. All manner of things, man. We're going to be tried. Like, do we really believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai? And that is Esau's whole objective, is to find out just if we really do stand for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. If you go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon 2, I encourage you to read that whole chapter. That shows you the mind of these wicked elites, how they think. All right. After that, you might not be so friendly to your Edomite neighbor, man. I'm joking. Let's read Revelation 3 and 10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, which are these scriptures, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them upon the earth." So everyone is gonna be put in this time. It ain't gonna be no seven rapture 7 year tribulation period that how the Christians teach. Everyone is gonna be in this time. That's why what did Esdras say? Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? All right. Behold, I come quickly. Hold for that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. And why is it important that we hold on to what we have? Because it says in verse 12, "Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall no more go out. And I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the holy city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power. And I will write upon him my new name," which brings to mind Revelation 21. That New Jerusalem coming down from heaven is the elect being, coming down after the destruction of America and bringing forth order. Okay, coming back down as gods, establishing our authority over the planet and over the nations, our dominion. But this Palantir stuff, man, hey, this ain't it, man. This is slavery. This is digital slavery, man. Okay, but we ain't got to worry about nothing. 2 Esdras 2 and 27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. So we're gonna be more than all right, whilst everyone else gonna be bugging out, scratching their heads, don't know what to do. We're gonna be okay if we be of the elect. 28. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. And you can even liken, the 2/3 of our people, because they're pretty much like heathens at the moment. They're going to envy the divine intervention that's going to take place in the elect's lives. My servant shall eat, but ye shall starve. Them kind of precepts, man. How we shall be in league with the beasts of the field. All right. And they ain't going to be able to do a damn thing, man. It says, "My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell." Yeah, the Lord's going to protect us, man. Okay. "Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith the Lord." That's pretty much the. Let me read this last verse. "Remember thy children that sleep, for I shall bring them out of the side of the earth and show mercy unto them, for I am merciful, saith the Lord Almighty." So even those of us that may have to die, man, the Lord is going to raise those ones up first. Okay? So yeah, to hell with Esau, man, with this Palantir stuff, trying to bring forth these draconian measures. Now, this thing did say it had 11 comments. I want to see if I can see them real quick. Where they at? See what the people them are saying. Look at that. Bob, my advice to you, Mr. Pinto, is stay out of small planes and big ones. Get disappeared. Just like we said, I pointed out the possibilities of what could happen to Pinto now that he's basically been a whistleblower. Palantir is another monster like BlackRock, a front company financing and implementing the total depopulation and destruction of America and the world. Its purpose is to create the, JOO world order, a creature that emerged from the kosher bankster mafia, the creature from Jekyll Island. A second look at the Federal Reserve, 5th edition book by G. Edward Griffin, or even better, the only book burnt in Germany, is Eustace Mullins, The Secret of the Federal Reserve. Educate yourself on the Fed. So I think these are some links, so that might be pretty helpful. I'll check these out, to be fair. You know, this guy's saying a lot. People know what's going on, man. You got this anonymous dude. You're jealous of blacks and Jewish people, aren't you? Yeah, man. Interesting times, we're in. Interesting times. But yeah, once again, I pray, Lord willing, this video has been edifying. And until the next time, I say shalom.